Look, the what I've said very consistently, and I said this in a video after the fact. You don't put Daniel Bryan in this situation specifically if you're not leading up to a triple threat match at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
If he is the one of the most beloved people in professional wrestling history. I'm like all time. Like people actually love Daniel Bryan. And so anything that's going to go against him or make him look weak, you're gonna expect him to kind of get his comeuppance or get his revenge at some point and then be the storyline building around him. But they went from Edge winning the Royal Rumble. He was supposed to be the biggest babyface in the company. And he was supposed to go and defeat Roman Reigns. That's what they were building it up for weeks. And Daniel Bryan was nowhere near the situation up until leading up to Hell in a Cell, right?
Right.
And that was fine. But what did they do? They had Daniel Bryan go through an entire Hell in a Cell match. They had Daniel Bryan win from number one in an elimination chamber. Sorry, from number one in an elimination chamber match, and then go through the ringer, and then right afterwards they have the champion come out and face him, and then he gets squashed obviously but he even in that effort he still puts up a big fight, almost makes the champion tap out after going through all that, and then they have him cut promos about how I'm 39 years old. I don't know if I'll ever have another chance at this. It's very similar to what you would think they'd be doing with Edge at this point, right? And Daniel Bryan's talking about how he's a father, how he's got kids at home that are waiting for him, that his wife is waiting for him, but he wants one more chance to go to the top. All of this stuff that's making him look like the mega babyface that won the Royal Rumble. And on top of that, you do what you did on Sunday night, where you turned the Royal Rumble winner, who was your face, heel. Like it doesn't matter how they're gonna play it off. Like, oh, Edge, he lost his cool in the moment. He's the heel now. He's a heel now in this feud because because he cost Daniel Bryan the Universal Championship, plain and simple. And just putting a bow on my thoughts about it, it's eerily similar to what they did in 2014. And again, I think this is totally by accident. I don't think WWE are clever enough to have done this storyline on purpose with Daniel Bryan, intending for him to be in a triple threat match. But I think now they're going to be forced to do it again. Because in 2014, what happened? An older wrestler comes back, wins the Royal Rumble. They want him to be the mega babyface, face the champion in Batista. But then at Elimination Chamber, Daniel Bryan gets screwed from his championship match. He gets screwed over, and a storyline builds up, and you can't ignore it. They had to put him in the triple threat match, and again, same thing's happening. Almost the exact same scenario is playing out. So I don't know whether this is incompetence or maybe they kind of figured along the way. Maybe they will. I feel like this is not actual. Like they didn't mean to do this. I definitely feel like they didn't mean to do this because it almost feels like everything they do with Daniel Bryan is sloppy, and this just has a weird sloppy vibe to it. But I want to get your thoughts on that.
No, I totally agree. It was funny because when I was watching it, I was thinking the same thing. But it wouldn't surprise me if WWE did some dumb shit where the super face comes back to the Royal Rumble and wins the Royal Rumble after suffering not one injury that could have been a career ending, but when he came back last year, suffered an injury and comes back, win the Royal Rumble to get into the WrestleMania, and guess what? Does not win the belt. Like that sounds like something WWE would do. I mean, they did it with Shawn Michaels back when Shawn won the first Royal Rumble, and then went to the first Royal Rumble he was in, and then fought Diesel and got squashed. Like they've done it before. Shit, Oscar. They did the same thing with Oscar. So I mean, it's happened. But to me, if you put Daniel Bryan, one of the, like you said, most sought after, one of the most thought of wrestlers, and probably a super baby face, more of a face than anybody in the company, is in a match like that, you would think he's going to be the one that wins. You know what I mean? He's going to be the one that wins that match. But honestly, I think you're missing. I think you are missing dropping the ball here if you don't let Edge be the victor in that match. I mean, and honestly, I'm okay with Edge being a heel. That's what Edge always fucking was anyway. I mean, he was a face, but he was always one of those that teetered on the edge, you know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see what they're doing. I mean, honestly, SmackDown has had some of the best TV they've had in years with this whole thing going on. So,
and it goes back to the point I made earlier. Like Daniel Bryan, like he is. I don't think there's anyone who has had all of the skill like just put together, like the total package together this well.
right.
Like at any point, I think. Because, Flair was always a great promo. He could work, but he was never a great, like, technical wrestler, right? But he could work a very good match. You had Hulk Hogan, who was, like, all charisma. John Cena, a lot of charisma. It wasn't Daniel Bryan, though, is probably arguably the best technical wrestler we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Combined with, he's become one of the best promos of all time. Because anytime he cuts a promo, you're just like, holy shit, I care.
Like, right, exactly.
It's so far away from where he was when he started. He's like one of the best promos of all time, best in-ring worker, not even from a technical standpoint, as far as telling a story in a match. Like, he's like the stuff he did with Brock, the stuff he's done with Roman, just insane. Yeah. Like, and he that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no one I think of all time who has had all the skill put together like this. Ever. And I'm not saying like, yo, he's the best of all time. Like, in my opinion, he's probably the most talented of all time. I would say that. And that's just an opinion.
That you can put in that category to me, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's not like, I'm not saying, you're saying he's greater than Ric Flair? Oh, you fucking like, no. Ric Flair's like arguably the greatest, but that's not the point here. The point is he's and he on top of that, he's like one of the most beloved wrestlers of all time.
Well, I mean, he's trained by arguably one of the best in-ring performers to ever live,
Shawn Michaels.
So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding right there,
Yeah, I feel you. See, but my problem is here, and the problem that WWE is going to run into at WrestleMania. I don't disagree with you. Edge winning would not be, even as a heel, would not be bad. Right. The problem is the scenario that they put themselves in is a weird scenario because they're not going to be in the Thunderdome at WrestleMania. They're not going to be able to pipe in noise. This is going to be in front of thousands of fans. And I'm telling you, the main event of WrestleMania, this is night 2, the main event, the last thing people are going to see at WrestleMania. I'm telling you, if they have Edge win in that match, I'm telling you the fans are not going to be kind about it.
No,
it's not going to be a good response. They've booked themselves into a corner with this because I don't know what they expected. If they didn't expect Daniel Bryan to get this over again, he shouldn't have been anywhere near the Universal title picture. You don't even put him in the Elimination Chamber. You don't do any of that. You keep him as far away from that because it's kind of like when. It's actually exactly like Daniel Bryan in 2014. Like, there's so many parallels because in the months leading up to the Elimination Chamber, what was he doing? He was chasing after the belt with Roman Reigns. He was having a feud where he got screwed over multiple times by Roman Reigns, which is exactly what happened with him and Orton. So it's like, I mean, I hope. Look. I hope that this was the plan all along. But I also don't expect it. Is that sad?
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.